People were macheted in there, people would be glassed in there, and they wouldn't just be glassed, like I said, the people would be butchered.
It's going to take someone properly strong to push you on the back foot, right?
The way I look at it,
Yeah.
you're going to have to kill me.
What was it like being one of the most feared debt collectors in the UK?
You got to meet a lot of interesting people. Sometimes you get the people don't want to pay you once you get it for them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You've had that? You made a living out of debt collecting.
Now I want what I'm owed off these two.
They know that.
They will.
Yeah.
They will. I was on the doors for 15 years before that, but there was always aggro in there.
What was Raquel's like?
Because people off their heads on drugs, there was just glassings and slashings. Like I said, it was do or die, that's it, that's the mentality. I can remember one time going down there, and I think Mick jumped on the bar, pulled out a big thingy and said, "These are my doors now. Anyone this is what they're going to get." Yeah. Oh yeah, Mick didn't play about.
Yeah. Do you know who killed Tucker, Tate and Rolf? Hey guys, we've been running this podcast now for 5.5 years. We've had some most amazing business guests on here. Simon Squibb, Daniel Priestley, Barry Hearn. The list just goes on and on, from billionaires to people who have built brands. If you want to come on the podcast and talk about your business and sit here with me in the studio and tell your story, go check out dodgewoodall.com/guest and check out the 3-minute video. We've also left the link below as well. Let's roll all the way back. What was it like being one of the most feared debt collectors in the UK?
Wherever the money was, that's where we'd go. If you can prove to us that you don't owe it, then you don't owe it. And we'll have to say to the people, they don't owe it. Because obviously in debt collecting, it's always a very shady, dark area, because they've either been to court, technically, they don't know. Because a lot of them is, to be honest, builders who screw other builders and liquidate the company. It's like the game to go to now. Like one particular one I went to, and where was he? He was in one of the richest parts of the work was done in London. He'd screwed someone out of about 200 grand. I went to his house, it's £7 million house. So Sunday morning, you'd creep up, knock on the door. Well, this particular one was a big gated place, £7 million house. But because it was Sunday morning, they must have thought I was the paper boy or something, because they opened the gates for me straight away.
Welcome.
Yeah. So we've gone in there, and the wife's answered, and we said, "He's so-and-so there." So he's come out. He's a multi-millionaire, and he's gone, "I don't know nothing. The company's liquidated." So I said, "Yeah, but you know what you're doing. You've done it to loads." He said, "Yeah, but it's liquidated." It's going. I said, "We're not interested in that. You know what you're doing. It's a professional knock. You've done it to 10 other companies. The company's still running now. Just change the name, change the director. I didn't even change the website as anything, just the name." So his wife went, what was it? She said, "Yeah, but it's not there no more." I said, "No, you're the director of the new company, aren't you?" And his son was the director of a new one. So anyway, basically, just say to them, "Money to give you a message. That's it.
Yeah.
We're off." So he give it bollocks, but they've got a brand new Range Rover on the drive, a Ferrari on the drive. So all of a sudden, things might happen to the car or whatever. And next thing, "Oh yeah, I think I paid that. It's worth paying."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I remember one time we knocked on the geezer's door, and he's answered the door with a bog roll in his hand, a piece of string holding his trousers up. So we know we're not going to get no money out of him, you know. And he's like, "What? And I said, yeah, forget it, mate. We're off, you know."
Yeah.
But a lot of the time you'll go there and you knock at the door. They go, "I lost everything, mate." You go, "Well, what's this house then? It's still in like a £2 million.
Yeah.
I'll rent that." I say, "Where'd you get the money to rent it? What's the Range Rover on the drive? Yeah. What's this on the drive?" And it's like, "Oh, but you still got to have thousands to rent it." And another funny one, this was a funny one. We went to somewhere, and it was a private estate, a gated estate. Again, great big house. We'd been there twice. It was a couple of Irish brothers owned a building company, professional knockers. So we've gone there the first time, brand new cars on the drive, given the number, ask it ring, give it bollocks. So then by coincidence, when we've gone back on a Sunday morning, me and my partner had parked just outside the gates by some trees, so it's really dark. And as we're getting out, we saw someone walking back. They must have been to the shop to get a paper. So they've seen us, and they've thought we're there to do something. So he's walked, got through the gate, then he must have sprinted back to his house, because by the time we got round the corner, he was gone, paid after that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he thought we were sitting there plotting him. He thought, it was
got
just
the fear up
coincidence.
him.
He
Yeah,
turned
okay.
up. Yeah, he just turned up at the time because when they're behind gates and camera and that, they believe that it's all right, you know. But they're the type of people you're dealing with all the time, non-stop.
Wrong ones. Keep on knocking people.
Yeah.
So basically, a developer or someone will do that. A builder come and do all the work.
Yeah.
It might be 80 grand's worth. He's
Won't
getting
be
knocked
one,
for
he'd do it to about 10 at the same time. Everyone who's there, the electrician, the plasterer, say he's building, redoing flats or whatever.
But that can kill someone off
It
completely.
does, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it destroy him.
Yeah. Even 10 grand's worth might kill someone. Might 40 grand for him, 100 grand for him. Okay.
Yeah, they destroy him. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what I say to them. I say 70 grand might be nothing to you, but he's put everything into that.
Family,
and now he's got a family.
Yeah.
And they go, like, a lot of the time people say, don't go to that. You shouldn't go to people's houses. They've got their wife and kids there. What about their wife and kids? They're sitting there with fuck all. And as a kid being from nothing, you know what it's like to sit with no money and their mum's crying and whatever. Do they give a fuck? Why they're flying off to Spain and whatever? Yeah. And that's what I say to them when they, like I said, the idea is when you go to the house, you do catch them. Why? Because you've phoned them a couple of times before. You'll say to the fella who's had the money, phone him up and say to him, come to my mate. Yeah. Bring who he wants with him. Yeah. Don't care. Bring him with him. Because like I said, whoever he brings, if it's a gangster, if it's this, if he's wrong and you're a proper fella, you've got to say, well, you're wrong, mate. Yeah. You know? So that's how we do it. And then when you do turn up and they're getting the kids for school, and a lot of the time, it's like what Dave Courtney said, the missus don't know fuck all about it. And she go, what do you owe these money? Yeah. Why you done that? Yeah. They're either in it with them or they're not, and they're blind. And they go, well, pay them then. I don't want people coming around my house. Yeah. You know? And
that must be nicer, in fact, when the missus is backing you up,
isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They do the work for you. Yeah. But a lot of them don't know about it.
Mm. So on a payment for something like that, then you're going in and going, someone's due you 200 G's. I'll go and get the money for you, but I want half or a third. How does it work?
Normally a third, yeah. And then if there's more into it, then it'll go up to half.
Okay.
But it was more. They was never going to get it anyway. Otherwise, you know, that's why they're coming to us. Yeah. You know, so. And like I said, we've got to see that they are genuine because we ain't going to bully people up, you know. And that's why, like I said, when you go there and the wife's unaware, and she said, well, why don't you pay them? Yeah. Why? Well, because he wants to live his lifestyle and he thinks legally
can't be touched.
He can do it. That's right. You know,
it's wrong.
Yeah, it is, and that's. Yeah. But do you know, every builder I know, this is happening to now because it's become the game. Yeah.
How did you meet your partner in crime to go and do these jobs? Because he's a very well-respected man in the underworld.
Well, first of all, I was a doorman and obviously going to gyms, and then I met someone that worked for him who was doing it, and he's passed away now.
Who was
that? Darren, his name was. Yeah, he passed away a year or so ago. And he introduced me, and you start doing bits of work. And then we just become really good friends. Yeah.
What sort of character was he away from debt collecting?
Very quiet. Never heard him shout. Yeah, anyone who knows him, you never hear him scream and shout there. So he don't have to. Yeah. He don't have to. You know. You know. He's so well respected that it's a case of you don't tell people what you're going to do. You just do it. Yeah. You know. And like I said, we was. Close for a good 10 years, yeah.
Were you debt collecting for 10 years together, were
you? Yeah. We had other things going as well, but that's what he was known for, yeah. But like I said, I was on the doors for 15 years before that in Basildon.
In Basel?
Bas Vegas. The Riviera of Essex, I call it.
What was it like working the doors back then? What year did you start? Early 90s, mid 90s?
I think the beginnings of 2000.
Was it?
I used to go on 52, so Raquel's was open in Basildon when I was young. When I was 18, 19, that was the only club in Basildon, that and Time. And after the Liabet stuff, that shut down. And then they was just making like a mega club over the industrial estate, which was Liquid, Envy, become New York.
Time and Envy,
That's it, Lava or whatever it was called at the beginning. And I went over there when it was being revamped, and yeah, just hit it off with everyone in there, and that was it. Then I was working for Mick Kelly.
Irish Mick.
Irish Mick, yeah, good man.
Good man.
Proper man, yeah.
Yeah.
He took over all the shitholes in Basildon.
Yeah.
And obviously it puts people's noses out of joint, doesn't it? Because he put in Russians, South Africans, my good friend Russian Andre, Polish Michael, Big Del Fadu was over on the doors. My brothers, I've got two older brothers, they were cab drivers, so they'd pick up the local people. And like I said, everyone's like it in your area. No one likes people coming in telling you what to do because it's nature, isn't it, you know? And they'd be moaning, oh, them fucking Russians, they're too fucking violent and whatever. But it's because they'd had a clean sweep and said, it's our way or no way. Yeah. You know, they're from a different world. Albanian, Albanian Tony, proper good doorman. Yeah, proper good doorman.
What was Raquel's like?
Shithole.
It was.
There was just glassings and slashings, and I can remember one time going down there and seeing where they were searching, people was dropping all the Stanley knives on the floor in the queue that they wanted
just
to
leave
take.
them out.
Yeah, it was just, and because there was a pub nearby, which was a Bullseye.
Yeah.
And that had the local people, and that was like I used to go and drink over there when I was in my school uniform because I worked down the market, it was directly across it, so I could go and get served a snake bite. Remember snake bite?
Yeah, of course. I still have them at my festival. Yeah, mate. Half cider, half lager. And now you put blackcurrant in the top. Snake bite and black.
That's it. Well,
but back then, my old man had boozers. They weren't allowed to sell them.
That's right. It became illegal.
It became illegal. You had to buy half a pint of cider, half a pint of lager, and you had to mix it yourself.
Yeah. And when I was on it, I used to have double Southern Comfort tips in it. And all. Yeah, fucking 15. Yeah.
Was it one that just allowed everyone in?
I think if you'd have took the underage people out, you wouldn't have had a club. I mean, I was drinking in pubs by 15, and you could get in there then. I could get in there then. Yeah. But that place was like, it was like a thieves' den.
Yeah. Get anything.
So anyone would go over there who was dealing drugs, stealing, kids that were like thrown out of school. It was just that type of place, but there was always aggro in there, always, yeah. It was like people were macheted in there, people would be glassed in there, and they wouldn't just be glassed, like I said, the people would be fucking butchered. Yeah. You know, it was like if a stranger come in, who are you? Do you? Yeah.
You undercover old Bill first thing.
Yeah,
of course.
When they started putting cameras in the toilets to catch people for drugs and that, because like the main people, I knew them, because I had two older brothers. I knew one of the main ones at the time who was running the drugs and whatnot, was known for being lively. And it was just like I said, it's a different era. People just seem to, and you didn't get the sentences that you seem to get now, although I don't know whether jails become, it seems they're so overrun now, like people wait years to go to court, and then before it seemed like people were popping in that jail every week sort of thing, you know. They'd do 18 months, they'd come out after 9 months, they'd do it. Again. Yeah, but it was a lively place. But where they all used to drink there, they'd be all in there till 11, and then they'd go to Raquel's after. Because when I started on the door, there was a little pub on the corner called the Towngate, and they'd had some trouble in there. And with two of my pals who were there, Russian Andre and Tony. So one day I was at home, and I got a call, can you go down there? They've had a group in, it's kicked off. So I went down there, and I'd carry a big head bag with stuff in with me, stick it under the table. I started working there then. I'd do there from 5 o'clock on a Saturday, finish there, and then go over to the clubs when that's shut. Yeah. But these places were all like people, like it was £1 a pint, and it was like a live band on Friday night. And like, I'd have to... people smoking crack in the toilets, and I'll never forget, bless her, there was a woman and her daughter who were two prostitutes, and they'd pull like a shopping trolley thing on two wheels with them with all their clothes and that in. It's heartbreaking, really, you know what I mean? It's just like people at the bottom of the food chain, you know? And when like the manager said, oh, they're doing crack, I'd go in and I'd say, boys, just don't do it in the toilet. If you want to do it outside, do it. And then, you know, just don't put me in that position. Because like I said, I'm from that area. That's where I've lived all my life. So I know both sides of it, you know. They're not bad people, but obviously people want to do drugs, they want to do this. The only thing I was really interested in is if you're hurting people, you know. Some people go around catching people for drugs all the time, and you're bothering for you ain't going to stop it, you know? Drink's worse than that, and so the only thing I was ever worried about, people bringing in weapons and people hurting people for nothing, you know? But over the festival, when that opened, any local name was told by the old building that they're not allowed in.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously, when it first started, they'd have to, most of them would just stay away. They won't move their aggro, you know? But it held nearly 4,000 people over there. So it held nearly 4,000 and you could all interlink. You went into one of 4 clubs.
4,000?
Yeah, and then...
That's massive.
Yeah, no, we started with 40 doormen, and then by the time it shut, we was down to about 17 doormen, but we'd still get 2,500, 3,000 in. Yeah, it's one of the biggest in
the UK?
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. And because they held like R&B club.
What year are we talking here, roughly?
I was there from, what's it now? I'd say it's been 20 years. I was probably there from about, something like 2003, 2006, something like that, yeah.
What did you have in your head bag?
Something long and pointy. Because they played for keeps around there.
Okay.
You know? It was, like I said, Doorman had got macheted up and whatnot. And when there's only a few doormen there, you know, like someone in that same thing, something happened, someone come in and shot them with a shotgun, and it was just because people were off their heads on drugs. I would always keep a bag with something, where I give this due to the like Russians and the Albanians and that, they're very hands.
Yeah.
They'll use if they have to, but like I said, Russian Andre, he's a bare knuckle fighter, so he would bang people out. And Tony, Albanian Tony, I've never seen a man so powerful and strong in my life. He was in Albanian Special Police.
Okay.
That like SWAT.
Yeah.
And he was a Greco-Roman wrestler. I don't know how he done it to this day, but he had a really lovely man. I love him, but he had such a short fuse. And I've seen him do it to like 25 stone people. He could grab you by the waist, flip you up, and your feet would hit the ceiling before he slammed you. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, never seen anything like it to this day, yeah. And he could do that at a drop of an hat.
Yeah.
So powerful, yeah.
When you looked around back in the day and you look in your right, look in your left, and you got Andre, you got Albanian Tony, and plus a load of other fellas. Were you like, no one's coming through this door?
Yeah, like I said, it was do or die. That's it. That's the mentality. We controlled it. Because obviously when you first go there, they've been working for years. They're looking at you. You're a local boy. You're going to be worried about the names and whatnot. But it's like I said, if you're not a bully, I'm only going to do a job. If you make it personal, well, then we go to a different level. But I'm here doing a job. If you're in the wrong and I say you can't come in, you're banned, you're barred, whatever, it shouldn't be a problem. If you want to be a prick about it and say, like I did used to get, I'll see you over the gym. Because I trained over there as well. There was a Fitness First there on the same site. So you'd always get that, I'll see you over there. I go, yeah, I train there at 5. I'll be there. Yeah. I say, but it won't be the same as here with the cameras and whatnot. If you want to make it personal, then it's, if you've kicked the shit out of someone for something and gone over the top, you expect to have comeback. Yeah. But in all the time I've done it, like I said, I never had a problem. I was followed home a few times, but that was normally through the London gangs. Yeah. You know? But actual locals who knew me because they're trained, and then when I'd see them in the same gym, they wouldn't say nothing because they was drunk, they was high. Yeah. And then they see you. And again, no, I weren't stupid. I'd wrap something up in a coat with me, put it next to me, just in case, because I'd be on my own, I'd train on my own, I'd done everything on my own, you know. Yeah. You weren't going to stop me doing what I wanted. It ain't hard to find where someone lives in Basildon, you know, so everyone knows everyone. Yeah,
anywhere, in the UK.
Yeah.
Two phone calls max, you find it,
Yeah, and especially when I was doing decorating, we had a PI working for us. We could track anyone. Yeah. So that was another thing. Like we'd do credit checks and all that to find you. Yeah, and like I said, it was and Mick was a good man to work for because people knew, like a lot of door teams.
He was well respected, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that because he had presence? He was a leader. He was hard as nails with it. He was fair.
He was fair. But he would back his team. Yeah. If you had a problem, you had a problem with him. Yeah. And he wouldn't let people take the piss. Some locals they threw out, smashed all the windows. So the manager's phoned Mick, and Mick's come down there and said, he tells this on his podcast, he says, like, what's gone on? And he says, oh, they put the windows through. And he said, well, where are they? And someone said, oh, they're drinking up the other pubs. So he's gone, right, let's go up there then. So him, Andre, I think it was Polish Michael, they've gone up there, spotted them. Andre and that fucking pummeled them, but a few of the other locals, because they all stick together, got there. And I think Mick jumped on the bar, pulled out a big thingy, and said, a big blade, and said, these are my doors now. Anyone fucks, this is what they're going to get. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mick didn't play about.
Yeah.
He was a boxer, and I didn't know until now. When he first come over, he was working with Lenny McLean and that up London, Yeah. I still talk to Mick now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where's he back in Ireland?
Yeah.
Is he?
He comes back as a forward.
I'd like to get Mick on.
Yeah, he's still got a security company.
Is he?
Yeah.
Comes across a real nice, humble.
Yeah, he is.
Humble human being, yeah.
Well, he's... see, as a doorman, if you're what I call a proper doorman, like he says, you walk a fine line because you know the villains, but it's your job at the end of the day to say no if no has to be said to them. Because like I said, if you let them in...
It's hard to get out.
And then, like when they'd say to people, come up to you, I've got your back, mate. I go, I don't need your back. You don't need to have my back. I'll deal with it in here. Because next thing, then they're saying, mate, I just want to chin this geezer. Can you look the other way? And it's a slow process of then overrunning, which is the problem they had in Basildon before he took over. Because local doormen could get intimidated by local... Because a lot of doormen ain't villains. They don't want to go to jail. They don't want to do what's got to be done. But when I went into it, my process has always been, I'll do whatever you do. You know? It's got to be like that. If you're willing to go to jail, I've got to be willing to go to jail. Or if I'm playing by a set of rules that you ain't playing by, I've lost already, haven't I?
Yeah.
You know, if you say to me, like what I said about the gym, I'll come around your house, I'm like, all right, I'll come around yours. Not a problem, you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? So, but a lot of them are just working people and doing it for a bit of extra money. And they'll say like, oh, if it gets heavy, like, oh, I don't, like, I'll give you an example. One of the doormen, he was an older fella, and he was a bully. He was a bully.
How did that make you feel? You know, when you see a bully doorman, everyone gets that.
You want to see him get his fucking head punched.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Even though you're working with him, you're like, I hope he gets done.
See, again, it puts you in a hard thing because you want to back him up because he's part of your team, and if you let him get pissed on, they're pissing on you. Yeah. But at the same time, if you see him take the piss out of someone and he gets smacked in the face, you think, well, fuck you, you deserved it. And this particular time, there was only a couple of us working, and he was just a bully for no reason. Like, he'd come up, he'd stare at them all mad, chewing gum because he was speeded out his head. And he'd already been put in a coma and that years before. And he'd go, you smell of weed. You ain't coming in. Well, fucking half the planet smells of weed. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you going to do? Yeah, you're not a sniffer dog. Just, you know. And I'd say to him, and so one day there was two guys. I don't know what actually happened, but he threw them out, and as he threw them out, they were with two girls. And he didn't just throw them out again, he tried to make them lose their respect. He was calling them girls and like going darling and all this shit, belittling them. Yeah. No one want that done to me. And I thought, you're triggering people. And these two fellas were pretty game, I knew who they was. And so next thing, got a phone call one night, they'd followed him home in a van and kept trying to ram him off the road. Yeah. Right? So they're ramming him, trying to ram him. He had it a few times, I think, because he was such a fucking idiot. So he's spitting and screaming, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So I said, all right, I'll do it with you. So if I find out where they live, I found out where they lived. I said, we're going, do what's got to be done. So, all right, he went to me, we'll wait till it gets dark, right? Because it's summer. Yeah. I said, it gets dark every night. He said, no, in the winter. I said, what the fuck are you talking about in the winter? I said, it's what he wanted, me to do it.
Right.
And step back.
Yeah, okay.
And obviously, I'll get triggered quite easy because I look at a team, they become my family. Yeah. And like I said, although I might not like you or like what you stand for, a lot of people would try and separate you. You know what they do, divide and conquer. Mm. So they go, I ain't got a problem with you, mate. You see him, I'm going to smash him up. And you go, no, you ain't going to. He's only thrown you out. Fuck you. Yeah. You smash him, you smash all of us. Yeah. So it was like, but then they'd start trying to use you to do it for them. And in the end, he fucking left. I mean, he was well in his 50s. He was there too long anyway. But in the end, he left. That had put the shitters up him. And he went. But I thought, you deserve it. There's no one had a good word to say about him, you know? You bullied them. They've tried to run you off the road. Well, what did you expect to keep happening? You ain't going to get away with it forever. You know? For every action, there's a reaction, isn't there? You know? And things like that. But also, on the other hand, the managers can be total pricks. and they want to treat you like a pack of dogs, set you on someone 1 minute, and then you do something, and they want to sell you out.
Off skis.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be careful of them.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah. That was all the time you got that. And like I said, it was like the Wild West down there.
Yeah.
Because of the R&B club, all the gangs travelled from London.
Yeah.
And again, when we was young, you had to have girls going with boys.
That's right. Dress up smart.
Now,
Yeah.
you'd have fucking 15 geezers in altogether.
Yeah.
All with gang tattoos, teardrops and all that, you know. And you're like, you know what we're doing? Let them in, the big spenders. Let them in, the big spenders.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the night, you'd hear your names being called. We need to get that group out. Well, we know now we've got to fight the whole group, haven't we, you know? And you're talking about 10, 15 people at one go. And so that's why it's just explosive all the time, you know?
Can you flick a switch quickly, or are you calm with it until someone...
I'm very calm, and I go very calm before something happens as well.
Yeah.
I feel very relaxed. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not the toughest, I'm not the best fighter, but I'll be with you.
Yeah.
It's like I said before, you're only as good as the people around you. If you're one man on your own, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you. But if you've got solid people with you, you've got to be solid with them. And like I said, I won't go backwards.
It's going to take someone probably strong to push you on the back foot, right?
You're going to have to kill me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, in life, how I look at life in perspective period, we've all got to die anyway, haven't we, at some point. And I've seen close friends at young ages die of cancer and that. It's a far fucking worse death than fucking getting killed instantly. You know what I mean? Not that anyone wants to. I do everything to stop it. But say someone's determined to kill you, shoot you, whatever, you can't stop them. You couldn't. And it's the same vice versa. If I'm determined, and if say someone at my family, I've got to be in the state of mind is I'm willing to sacrifice everything for that person, which means if I've got to do something in front of a copper, a judge, or whatever, and if I go, I go. You know what I mean? And vice versa. And that's what I'd say to people. I'd never say to people who want it, I'd say, are you prepared to die? Because it's not a case of anyone can do something, but are you prepared in the process for it to happen to you? And most people don't want it, do they? You know, they like dishing, but they don't like taking. You know, and that's just how I look at life, period. You know, I don't really, like I said, I was nearly dead last year.
How'd you deal with that mentally?
All right. Yeah, because I was alive. And I was in a coma anyway, so I didn't know about it. And when I come round and they told me, I was like, all right. Okay. I'd lost 3.5 stone in a month because I'd been tube fed and I couldn't walk, I couldn't even open a yoghurt pot. And I just wanted to get out of hospital, get back to me dogs and rehabilitate myself. Because I was just like, I was like a newborn foal. I was like Bambi. Fucking, I was, literally. I was in bed.
How did you get into a coma?
I got a dog scratch on my leg and it turned to cellulitis. I kept going to the hospital. They'd put me on intravenous antibiotics for a couple of days, send me home with orals. Then it went to MRSA. And then it went to sepsis. So over about a 3-week period, they watched it, and if I show you pictures, I had pus just oozing out my leg. It was getting redder and redder up my leg where the poison's moving up. But because things had happened in my life a few years before, and I'd lost my business and I'd fell out with people, I was just like letting it happen, if I'm honest. Okay. And I was just sitting there smoking, not looking after myself. Yeah. And I thought, fuck it, if I'm meant to die, I'm meant to die. And then one morning I woke up and I couldn't breathe. I was like, on that podcast I'd done for Ben, the Inquirer, he's a good man, very good man. He's a close friend of mine. We've just opened a production company together. We were going to start doing documentaries. I'd done a podcast with him, the only one I'd done. And if you watch on there, eyes were shut, I was sweating through. That's because I had the poison running up my leg. I was already half dead by then. And one morning I woke up and I couldn't breathe, so I got my brother to drive me to the hospital. Again, they left me in A&E for an hour and a half, like that, where if you got sepsis, they say in other hospitals, they've got 45 minutes to get you where you need to be, because you can kill you in hours. So hour and a half, I don't remember none of this. So then I went in there, I realised it was sepsis. All the teams were coming down, heart, my kidneys were packing up, my heart was packing up. And one of the heart surgeons went to my mate who was there He went, what is it? He went, like that, yeah.
And you clocked it?
No,
Well,
he
your
told
mate-
me
your
after.
mate's-
Yeah, he
fucking
said it to
hell,
me, mate. He
mate.
went,
Oh,
yeah.
mate.
And I didn't even really know this until after, because my mate took a picture of me in the coma to remember me by, like, to show me, because they was all told I was going to die.
Did all your pals think this is the end of him?
Oh yeah, they was. I'll tell you what. That's when you see who your real friends
Yeah,
are.
who turn up?
It was like a checking-in system of people taking turns to come in and sit with me, because obviously I weren't aware of it. My neighbours, my friends, they was up there. My mate Tony, he was there every day. Les, Eggy, and obviously it was heartbreaking to hear after, because my mum and dad, they're both 80 this year, having a party for them. They've been married 60 years this year as well.
60?
Yeah, they've been together since they were 16. They're from the East End, Maureen and Brian.
Quality.
Yeah.
Massive respect to those two.
Yeah.
60 years.
Yeah.
That's unheard of these days, isn't it?
No, that's it. It's different
quality.
breed, isn't it?
That's
yeah.
quality.
And my dad's got terminal cancer, but he's under control. My mum's got dementia, so they're a mad couple. But when I heard after, like, my mum was going in, they was going in the church thing and writing letters to God and all that type of stuff. And it breaks your heart, because you're not aware of none of it, you know?
Yeah.
And you, like I said, the people that were there, were really there for you, because some people won't have no one. Yeah. They just have one or two people, and it humbled me big time. Ben was phoning all the time, and I'd only met Ben a year or two before. He's become one of my closest pals. Mick asked me how I was. I've got a good Albanian friend, Addy. He's a good man. I find, do you know what I found over time, Dodge? People moan about foreign people, but my closest pals and the most loyal, because they've still got old school, they're fucking, I don't know what it is with the English, they sort of seem to have been every man for himself now. Where I find them, because they've got traditions and they still go back to the old country and their families all know each other. My Albanian mates, my Russian mates, good Englishmen, like I said, like who I've named, Mick and that, but the Albanian, I get on well with them because they respect our values as well, our old school values, because they still live them. Like, everything's cousins and all that, And if someone does something, they say, well, we'll go back to the old country where your family, and their family put them straight, sort of thing, Yeah. And I love it. I love all that, because that's how I am. I'm not, although I don't mind being alone, I like strong people with me with values,
Morals. Agree.
Morals, there's an old saying, what I live by, I've got it tattooed on me. Lose your money, you lost nothing. Lose your health, you lost something. Lose your character, you lost everything. Yeah. And that's what I live by. Yeah. And it's so true. And so many people sell you out for a pound note. Money totally corrupts. The
root of all evil. But it also brings a lot of happiness to people at the same time.
Do you know what the true saying is? Money ain't the root of all evil. The long saying is the pursuit of money is the root of all evil. And because money itself, it's just a tool to use to, you can make people happy, you can make yourself happy, or you can make yourself miserable. But the pursuit of it, and once people get a sniff of it.
Have you seen any of your mates change around money?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It becomes, for one, I've been around a lot of rich people, because like I said, I went from a doorman with nothing, and then I was mixing, when I started doing debts and that, you're mixing with a lot of rich people, your friends and thingy. And a lot of them have got the mentality, they get up the ladder and they want to pull it up after them. They want to keep you as a work dog,
That's horrible. That's horrible. I can't stand
you
those
find
people.
that a lot of it.
No, I know people who had nothing, got a load of dough, and they've changed. I'm like, why have you changed? Keep your feet on the ground. We all grew up together. What are you doing now?
And I find
that bugs the shit out of me.
The difference with the foreigners as well, if they see someone down,
they'll help them.
They'll work with them. They don't give them handouts. You don't want handouts, but they'll work with you to bring you back up. Where I lost everything a few years ago. I had 200,000 quid's worth of cars, lost them all, lost everything. I walked away from the business because my brain went right. People had betrayed me, and I'd had enough. So I just walked away. And I knew I'd be skint. I knew what was going to happen. But I'd done it out of principle that what was going on weren't right. But I saw most people people who say to you all the time, money ain't my God, money's normally their God. People who say to you, Lord is everything, you find out until the pound note comes in, it's not. But the millionaires or the wealthy people, when they're earning, they don't want to see you earn. But the foreigners will say, right, I'll do business with you now, you do this with me now, you do that.
We can all learn.
And build each other up, like Ben, how I've met him. He's brought me into his production company and that, you know, to do documentaries. He don't owe me nothing, but he's a legitimate man, you know.
He's a good man, isn't he?
Good art, He's like I said.
Ben put us in, me and you together.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And he said to me, Dodge, you're going to love him.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
We phone all the time and text all the time. Like I said, I'm going to meet up with him soon because, like I said, where my health ain't been great, with my operation and that. But
what was your business?
It was a building company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you go, I've had enough?
I had partners in it and people that run it for me. It was mine and my partner's business. But I brought in, because I started it from scratch, I brought in everyone equal.
Okay.
So the woman that run it for me, the accountant that run it for me, I brought everyone in equal.
So everyone had what, equal shares?
Yeah.
And how many people were involved?
4.
Okay, so all 25 each. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing on paper.
Yeah.
Because everything was in my name.
Yeah.
Right. But we built up, and then I had surgery on one of my eyes, and it went wrong. So I was blind in one eye for nearly a year, and I had the nerve hanging out of it. So I was in constant pain. I couldn't go out because your eyes work together, obviously. Yeah. So if one pisses out, the other one does. Yeah. So I had loads of laser surgery. I had a cornea transplant. So while I was doing that, the woman that ran it for me got me in 500 grand's worth of debt. Yeah. And when things went tits up, instead of she was using someone else to get in on it, who was giving her money.
What, she was doing the invoices through him?
And taking it. No. But I didn't know what I know now, because she's dead now. Yeah. I think she had terminal cancer, and she had a son that's a right fuck up, who had come out of jail, junkie, low-life prick. Well, I tried to appease her by giving him a job that he didn't turn up to. I just paid him, basically, to keep her focused. Yeah. But I think she knew she was dying, so she started her daughter, him, money, just fucking it up totally. And by the time I found out, it was salvageable. Yeah. But you know how all of a sudden it starts becoming my company when it was our company. Yeah. And it hurt me. It really hurt me. Because I thought, you're in it together. Yeah. And I thought, if I share everything equal, we're all equal.
Everyone's happy, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you've all got to take responsibility when things go wrong. And I knew this person who had been paying her direct, he knew what he was doing because he was getting a lot of money out of it. So I basically said, let's fuck him off. She was fucked off straight away. She didn't know she was dying. And it was all rolling again. But I knew the accountant. I'd asked the accountant, I said, did you know we was in debt? He said, yeah. I said, why didn't you tell me? He said, I didn't want to lose my job. Right? So I said, but you're going to lose your fucking job anyway. We're just going to go under. What are you on about? But he'd gone from a £10 an hour prick to earning thousands, right? So he's just thought, I'm going to ride the gravy boat until the wheels fall off. Well, in that process, he was telling lies about me, blah, 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 saying that I was thieving and this and that, even though my name was on it. And I just thought, I've treated you all like this. My partner I loved like a brother and like a father because he's older than me. I idolised him. I would have took a bullet for him. And then there was doubt there of what I'd been doing. And it broke my heart. That's the truth, it broke my heart. And it sounds silly, it's like a woman cheating on you sort of thing. It hurts you that bad that I just said, fuck it, I'll walk away, you have it, all have it, I'm going. and done. And that's what I did. I just walked away overnight, walked away with nothing. Well, I walked away with debts. I had debts. But now, it's 3 years on, I'm friends with my old partner again. I still talk to him. And but the other two fucked him over in the process. 3 years on, he realised it weren't me, it was them. Now I want what I'm owed off these two pricks.
Okay.
Yeah.
They know that.
They will.
Yeah.
They will. Yeah.
How much they do you reckon in total?
Thousands.
Okay.
Thousands.
Okay.
One of them now has got a nice big house that they bought through me when it was working, built onto it, extension. They've got two companies now because obviously they've gone on. They were thieving off my partner in the end.
Yeah.
One of them, he's got cars, he's got everything now, got two companies running. Good for him. But you're going to feel me now. And the other one, the snaky fuck, he's a con man anyway, he's a low life. And he's got a big house, he's got money, he's been doing stuff. He was one of the biggest causes of what happened to me because he was giving money over but taking a lot of money back in interest.
Okay.
And weren't telling us, me and my partner, that he was lending it. She was phoning him saying, here's the money, and he was just turning up giving it to her and not fucking telling us.
Yeah.
And it was obvious what he was doing because at one time he was taking thousands a week in interest. And when I found out all this, it was like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck? So not only did they cause me to lose everything, they caused me to fall out with my partner, that like I said was more like a brother.
And leave with debt.
And leave with debt, yeah. Yeah. But like I said, listen, money comes, money goes. It's more principle.
Yeah.
It's more principle. Because like I said...
Why are they thinking, I'm sitting here thinking... There's other people that could do it to. Why are they thinking doing that to you?
Tell you what, a lot of people, and this is human nature, take kindness for weakness. And I'm a kind, generous person. I'll be honest, money don't mean shit to me. I gave away fortunes because I can't eat out of a trough without everyone else eating with me. Some people get off on seeing, look at me, you fuck all, that makes me feel big. If I'm with you, I want you to have what I've got because then I can enjoy it with you. I can sit and have a laugh and we go, oh, look at this is nice. But a lot of them is what they'll do, they'll get you to do things for them, manipulating you by pretending they're going to do that for you. So they dangle the carrot, so you go, well, if I keep at it then, I'll get that. They never got no intentions of helping you. You know? They never got no intentions.
Do you know when someone's envious?
Yeah. 100%.
Because no one talks about this.
No.
No one talks about this, and I always talk about it again. There's people in your circle. You might be nice. Everyone's nice. The difference between a friend and an acquaintance is a big thing. You know, a friend for me is know, like, and trust. An acquaintance is know and like.
It's funny you say that, right? There's a thing I watch, and a friend is only a friend when he proves he's your friend. When it's either going to cost him money. It's uncomfortable to be your friend. You might have 10 people, 20 people around you go, they're my mates, they're my mates. They go, when has it been uncomfortable for them to be your mate?
Yeah.
When has it been scary for them? Because remember, fear's stronger than love, right? You find that in life.
Yeah.
So if you fall out with someone who's powerful, all them people around you, who am I going to go with? Him because he's right or him because I want to be in his good books? And that's what you'll see. And I accept that. It's human nature because they've got to look after themselves. But don't kid yourself. And this is what I try and tell youngsters today. When they're with their mates and say they're drug dealing or running around drug dealing, I try and say to them, listen, take it like, obviously age is a thing. If you go to jail, you'll be lucky if any one of them visits you, any one of them sends you money. The only person you might have is a woman that sticks with you. And your mum and dad normally. The rest of them will totally fuck you off because you're only as good. It's like a boxer. You're only as good as your last fight.
That's right.
And you can be turkey today and dressing tomorrow. You know. So one day you're the fucking best thing since like you do one thing, you slip once, and you'll see you might have one or two people say, well, yeah, he slipped. Let's help him get back up. The rest of them go, oh, fuck this.
Who's
I'm
next?
looking elsewhere.
Who's next? Yeah. Another good sign as well, Dean, when you've got good news, who out of your friends you want to tell the good news to? Because you'll go, I don't want to tell him because I don't think he's going to be happy for me. That's another good sign of
that's
good,
Jordan
proper
Peterson.
friends.
I watch a lot of Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
And he says, a friend that shares bad news, there's a lot of them want to hear bad news because they relish in it.
Yeah, of course.
Misery loves company.
Yeah.
But if you can tell them, oh, look, I've got a promotion at work, and they go,
and they're happy
that's
for you.
fucking brilliant, mate. What, earning more money? What, you going to build? But a lot of the time,
why is that? I love seeing everyone do well. I love seeing people around me in business do well. Or how can I promote them on LinkedIn or whatever? Or I'll give them contact. I don't want nothing from it. It's put your heads together.
Again, I think it's just British society has got to the point where we're so separated that it's become, like I said, you look at a neighbourhood, you might talk to one or two along, the rest of them you won't say hello to, the rest of them along there you won't say. Years ago it weren't like that.
That's right.
Years ago you all intermingled. But now, because they might have a Range Rover, they've got a fucking BMW, but they've got an old crate, so the person with the BMW thinks, oh, fucking this shit. Because like I said, I'm in an ex-councillor, so you've got people that are rented from the council and that. You're all equal.
We're all the same. Doesn't matter if you're a CEO, a celebrity, a dinner lady, we're all the same. All the same.
This is, I don't understand. Like I said, if someone's kid's dying, they'll give up everything for that because you're all human. And it's why I don't understand, like people, for an instance, who are royalists. I try and say to them, do you understand? They wipe their arse like I do. They've just been born into a position. They ain't got superpowers. They don't do nothing. They ain't got a skill. I respect someone who's got a skill. Brilliant. But otherwise, I don't worship anyone, you know, like film stars and that. You look at them, you think they're playing a part. What the fuck are you? Oh, you know. Like I said, I've met one person who I always wanted to meet, Nigel Benn. Met him because I loved him. And I met Ricky Hatton. I looked after him before he passed away years ago. I'd maybe like to meet type, but other than that, I don't give a fuck whether I meet any celebrities or anything. It's nothing.
People say to me, do you get nervous before meeting these celebrities? They come on your podcast. I was like, no. I've interviewed Piers Morgan and Rod Stewart and Harry and all.
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
Talk about Piers Morgan.
It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who it is.
No, that's right.
You're normal.
He's normal.
Just because he's been sat on the TV means nothing to me.
He goes home, he sits and watches telly, he has a shit.
Have you ever...
In
front of the telly?
Yeah, that's it. If you got a good setup. But,
tell me, have you ever been in a situation where you've nearly lost your life?
You probably have loads of times and don't realise, but no, there's been a few scary. I mean, on the doors, you get people all the time. People, like one funny one was a youngster. He come up one day off his tits, screaming, shouting he was going to come in. He weren't coming in, so he went away, put a bulletproof vest on, come back with a knife on his back, and one of the doormen went and swept his leg and snapped the geezer's leg in half. And he's laying there screaming. And things like that. You could die. Like I said, you just... my old pal fell out with someone, and he'd only thrown him out, but they were local, but I used to give him a lift. He's passed away now. He died at 34. He's a good friend of mine. And
his name?
Dan King. Yeah, I brought him. I worked on his first door with him, and then I got him over to the clubs, and he was like a little brother to me, you know. And but he was a big, powerful fella, and he threw someone out. It got personal, but I used to pick him up and drop him off to home because he couldn't drive. And so one day we come to the back to the clubs, and the site security said, "I was over there watching you. They got bulletproof vests on watching you." I said, "Well, they got bulletproof vests on. They're saying they're going to shoot us. We ain't saying we're going to shoot them, the fucking idiots. What are they going to shoot? These are the mentality. It's for show. you know? I'll put on a bullet for show. I'm ready to go to war. Well, we're only going to work. If you're going to do it, do it. You know? This is the sort of dickheads you're around, you know? And you just, I laugh at it. I find this funny because it's like what I always say. If they're going to do it, I can't stop you, you know? But I also say, like what happened in Rettendam, if you bully people enough, don't matter. Muscle, all this bullshit. It's what's in here and what's up here, right? As you know, you've had the SAS on, SBS on. It's what's in there. And like I said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And if you really want to kill me, you're going to kill me. So there's no point in sitting there shitting your pants about it, you know? If obviously you know for definite, then you try and do so. But like I said, if you really are going to come, someone nearly blew Trump's head off, and he's got the best security around the world, you know. So what can you really do?
Yeah.
And that's. But I also say that on the other side, if you're willing to sacrifice yourself, you can get anyone. Don't matter what they do. And it was the same. Like I said, I saw firsthand at the time because I was a youngster, Tucker and Tate and that, powerful men, big men. But if you push people too far and they're that afraid, they'll either run off or they'll fight like a dog. Yeah. And what happened to happen.
Do you know who killed Tucker, Tate and Rolf?
I only know what they know. What I believe was Steele and Holmes, I believe. Going by Bernie, I mean, Bernie read the court transcripts and whatnot. I believe normally the obvious answer is the answer, because when people say about the police doing it, I'm like, there's much worse people out there than them in life. Yeah. So why aren't people being hit all the time? It ain't like Brazil where they've got hit squads going out, taking out criminals. Why wouldn't they be taking out people left, right and centre? I mean, it looks coincidental because Leah Betts, the dad was an ex-copper. Yeah.
So Leah Betts died of taking a knee. And an old man was a copper.
Yeah, okay. Was a copper.
At Raquel's club where she took it.
Yeah, she got it from there, didn't she? She took it at home at a party. It was her 18th birthday party. Right, okay. And she went home and took it. Whether it was too strong, she had a reaction, but she drank, I believe, so much water that it made her brain swell. Yeah. And that's what killed her. And I've got young nieces, and I say to them, you try and tell them, you don't know, believe it or not, Dodge, I've never had a line of coke. Yeah. I never took ecstasy. Yeah. I've never took nothing. The only thing I've ever took is steroids. Yeah. Because, for one, I don't like things that halt me head. I don't drink. Yeah. I don't like things that mix with my brain. And two, I don't want some dirty shit that people are making and whatnot, although it's meant to be great. And I've seen so many people's lives ruined through coke. Yeah. You know, I've seen it destroy people, you know. Same. And you think...
Horrible drug.
Yeah, I know.
Horrible drug. The most expensive drug. You give half it away. I know. People chat shit on it, and then the next day they're para.
And they wonder why their nose, they put cement in it and everything. Yeah. They wonder why they're crying. And you think... But do you know the ironic thing? I used to talk to people at the gym and they'd say about steroids. Right? Steroids are relatively cheap and they're a health product, right? If used correctly, they'd go... You'd say, do you want this brand that's like a good pharmaceutical? Yeah. Now, give me the cheap one. Then they go out and do 200 quid a week with Coke. Yeah. And I think, where the fuck do you think that got made? In a lab somewhere, someone Boots made it. And this is the irony of people. They don't, it's the way they think, you know, or they go, I don't like taking tablets, I won't take paracetamol on that, but they do lines of Coke or smoking weed and... It's beyond me. I think this is how warped the mentality has become.
What was Tate and Tucker like in the mid-90s from what you saw?
I met Tucker a few times up the gym. He was quiet, all right. And again, I've got to say it like this. Obviously, he run doors. I don't know Tate, never met him, never met Craig Rolfe. When you're running doors, you're always going to be looked at as a bully. Because for one, you're saying to people no, and you tell a kid no and he screams and shouts. So tell an adult no, and they're used to giving the orders. They don't like it. Yeah. And people only ever see the aftermath of what's gone on. So if they see you pummeling someone, they're oh, fuck off, leave him alone. He ain't done that. You go, he just smashed the bird's teeth out over there. Oh, did he? Oh, right. Or the vice versa. When something's going off between them, you going to help them? Yeah. So at the street, you going to help them. So Tucker, like I said, I can only go by what was out there. He was in a time when the 90s were crazy, weren't they? You know, and it was very violent. And it's like anything, violence. If you're robbing drug dealers and that, you're only on a one-way street, aren't you? You know, you're here for a good time, not a long time. You know.
Did you ever do any debts regarding drugs?
No, I stayed away from them.
You always stayed away.
Won't do them. No. That's why we had a good name as well. For one, they're dirty. Yeah. And two, it's like what I say to people. Like I know people that had like a couple of lumps robbed off them by about 10 youths, and I go, where the fuck do you think that's gone by now? All the money? I said. Split that up by 10.
Not a lot, is it? Yeah.
They've all gone out everywhere with it. I said, who'd you got? What you got? I said, you're fucked. I said, you made a mistake. That's done. I said, you ain't getting that back. And apart from that, you're mixing. It's drug dealers should do with drug dealers, and they should employ their own people. But if you're a proper, legitimate debt collector, you don't want to go near drug debts. And for another thing, you get roped into a conspiracy of drugs then. Because I believe the only time I've had police watching me, and I believe they was, in a plainclothes car outside my house, because it's nowhere really at park. I live next to an old people's home, and it's on a bend. And I was doing a debt for a fella who had come out from a long stretch from drugs, and he said someone owed him money, not from drugs, from something else. But he kept wanting to meet up, and he said, I'm out of it now, as they all do, you know. He said, I'm out of it now. But I said, I don't want to sit and have cups of tea with him and that. Well, a little while after that, I had a car parked and there was a geezer in it. And every time I pulled up, he'd fuck off. And this went on for a few weeks, right? And later on I found out, because he phoned me one day, he went, oh, I'm up Manchester, saying, I'm seeing if there's any work or something. I thought, why did you do that on the phone? Not work, as in, I thought, bollocks, you're still at it. Yeah. And next thing, he'd been nicked in Spain with his wife with a load of lumps, and he was doing Big Bird, yeah? So he's still in it, you know?
Okay.
I'll tell you what was a close call for me, thinking about it, where I could have got, this was, I must have someone looking at me, because touch wood, I've never gone to jail.
Yeah.
Right? There was a car dealer, I can't remember where it was, but it was about 100 miles from where I live. And he was a multi-millionaire, had a big car showroom, and he lived in America, but he'd come over. Someone said he owed a lot of money, can't remember what it was. I spoke to him, said he don't know it, blah, blah, blah. Can't remember what happened, but it went dead. And then a few weeks later, by accident, I rang his number. So he's gone, hello, mate, you all right? So I've gone, yeah. So he's gone, oh, I'll tell you what, he said, why don't you pop down, we'll have a bit of lunch and we'll have a chat. He said, and I've got some things we can talk about and whatnot. I'd never met him. So I phoned up my partner and I said to him, I'm going to go down there. He said, no. I said, listen, it'll be all right. I said, I'm just going to go down there. He went, all right, you ain't going on your own. He went, I'm going to send another person down there to meet you down there. So I said, all right. So at the time, it was 100 miles journey, so it's winter, it's pissing down with rain and that. So I'm going there, and I was on water pills at the time, so I had to save my life. I kept stopping for have a piss, right? So I got to, there was no signal where I was, so I got to in about 2 miles of the car showroom, and he's ringing me. Mate, where are you? Where are you? I said, I'm running a bit late. All right, mate, all right. So next thing I got a call through, mate, don't go there. I'm sitting outside. He's just come out. There's all armed police in there. There's dogs, everything, waiting for you. That's why he's ringing me to see where I was.
Yeah.
So I phoned him, and I said, all right, mate. He said, where are you? I said, I'm outside. He went, where? I can't see you. I can't see you. Come in, come in. I said, you fucking lying cunt. I'm sorry. I said, you lying rat. I said, fuck off, and put the phone down. But it's what I didn't know, see, this is called a dirty debt. Someone else had tried to do the debt before, a Northern or somewhere, and they'd threatened to kidnap his wife and kids,
Right.
which is a no-no. You don't do that.
Yeah.
If I'd have gone there, they would have put me down to that. I'd sat in the car with me, I forgot I'd had.
Yeah.
I would have been fucked.
Yeah.
And I was a mile away from that. It was a Friday, I remember Friday, and I turned around and drove back, and I thought, fuck me, how lucky was that? And my mate said to me, you wouldn't have been out for 10 years for that. He said, you would have, and would have walked into it. Because the geezer who gave us the debt lived in Spain, and he hadn't told us the backlog that he'd already put a firm on it. And they'd been threatening him, saying all that shit would take you away and your family. So I would have walked in. As far as he knew, that could have been me saying it. And I remember getting indoors, and you know, you speak to your missus and they're oblivious to what's just happened. Yeah. And you sit there and you think, fuck me, that was close. Yeah. Thank my lucky
Would you
stars.
tell your missus or not? No, just keep still.
Yeah.
No
point, is it? You know, they got no comprehension of anything, have they? Anyway, really, unless you're a clued up person.
Would you take any debt on if it was not to do with drugs? And would you travel anywhere in the country?
Yeah.
Give me some examples of some places you'd go and pick up a debt.
Where did we go? I think we went. I mean, Manchester, Liverpool, everywhere you can think of. One day we drove to, where was it, Aberdeen and back in the day. Because a lot of time we'd go there, just knock on the door and shoot off again. You don't want to stay in the area. Because like I said, I know pals who have got gone in jail for phones in the area and whatnot. So you just go there. And again, it was like a bad omen with that. We was driving there. And we'd
Who were you
leave
with on that one?
Egg.
Okay.
And it's falling down with rain. Couldn't see in front of you. It was about 4 a.m. Car spun out on the motorway in front of us. I said, this is a bad omen. Let's go back. And then we went, no, we can't. Because if we give our word, this is why we was good debt collectors as well. If we say we go, we go.
Yeah.
Where a lot of debt collectors, they want to lay in bed. They've had a drink the night before.
Yeah.
Me and my partner didn't drink or whatever. He's a Muslim, so he don't drink, and I think he's health fanatic, ex-boxer.
Yeah.
So he gets up and trains like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
And he's fanatical.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we would say if we was going, we would go, we'd do it and whatever. And there's also a lot of debt collectors out there, which is not a nice thing. They'll say to them, give us 10, 15 grand up front.
Yeah.
Because we would do it if you don't get paid, we don't get paid.
Okay, yeah. That should be right.
Yeah, and the money goes back to you, then you pay us.
Yeah.
Then it's pretty legal that way, you know. You'll pay the man who's owed it, and you pay us. Sometimes you get the people don't want to pay you once you fucking get it for them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You've had that?
Yeah, of course.
So you've gone
do.
and picked up a debt for someone,
Yeah.
you go, there's your dough, and they go, I ain't paying you.
They go, oh, can't we sort out like cheaper or whatever? But yeah, once it gets in, that's money again.
My God.
Once it gets back in their hands, and you'll be sitting there thinking, are you fucking real? No? I've just knocked on a geezer's door, like one I've been to before. You always hear this one and all. Oh, this geezer's a right wanker. He'll give it you straight away. I would do it myself, but but I'm frightened I'll smash him up or whatever. And they go to you, I don't mind if you smash him up. You think, I'm sure you fucking don't. My face is on camera. Yeah, go on, give me a good idea. Yeah, all right, yeah. You don't mind, don't you? And like you've knocked there, and it's meant to be empty, like one person, and there'd be 10 geezers all living there, all foreign geezers standing there, you know what I mean? Or another one, I've had someone didn't come out, and then when they come out behind me, I've looked and they've got a screwdriver in their back pocket and shit like that, you know? And so you never know. When you go to people's doors, you don't know, because you don't know how they're going to take it either, do you? You know? Because like I used to say to people, if you want to come to my door, you won't be leaving, you know? Because I don't owe no money. I'll pay everyone who I've ever had to pay.
Same.
Yeah.
I was always taught to pay everyone. Pay everyone. I always do. Pay everyone. And whatever you left with is a bonus.
Dodge, when I lost my business, something to do with a car, I had to pay off the HP and that, and I'd give it to me mate, he'd give me the money, blah, blah, blah. I remortgaged my house to pay off, so he kept the car and that. Because you do what's right.
Yeah, of course.
But I got some prick out there, a mate, I'll lend about 25 grand to 3 years ago at building materials. He paid me back about 10, and he said he was on hard times, and I let the 15 go for ages. 15 grand, right? And then when I just got out of hospital, he'd stay in contact every now and again, you know, and I'd represented, this is what really pissed me off, I'd put my neck on the line for him before with people, protecting him from a debt, saying he owed money. I wanted him to prove he owed the money, otherwise he weren't getting paid. And my boss said, because they were powerful people, he said, just tell him to pay something to him, he probably does it. I said, no, they've got to show me now. I said, because they're bullying him up, like, I'm going to smash your head in. I went and met him on my own with just him, and there was about 4 or 5 of them there, and I said, shut up, don't talk like cunts, so we just fuck off, you know. I'd done that for him, so this 15 grand, all of a sudden I get a call about just before Christmas or whatever. Hello, mate. Can you go and pick up some? I'm owed a debt of blah, blah, blah. I said, I thought you weren't earning no money. So I thought it was 10 grand he owed me. So I looked in my book that I'd wrote down all that time ago, 15 grand he owed me. Yeah. So I went and had a chat with him. We had a chat. Yeah, I know, I should have paid you. I forgot I owed it. I forgot he owed me it.
No one forgets.
15 grand
no
you forget.
One forgets that.
Yeah. And you know what? This is how little I think of money. At the time, I was going to just wipe my mouth out. I've lived without it. Yeah. And I'd live on. If he was a good friend, I would have. I would say, listen, don't matter. But I didn't. I said to him, what are you going to pay me then? Oh, come on, man. I said, I'll do the debts for you, I'll take it out of that. All of a sudden, the debts didn't need doing. So that's when I got, he still ain't paid me. He will pay me, you know? But again, he's took kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
Totally. Since...
If he come in now, what would you say to him?
Turn the cameras off. Let's go for a walk and talk.
Yeah.
But I've given him every opportunity. I said to him, I would have thought more of you if you'd have just paid me 100 quid a week, 100 quid. Just say something.
Show some respect, yeah.
But he's totally, and he knows what I am, and if he don't, it's down to him. No? And he's ignored me now about 3 months.
You not put a deadline on him?
At the time, I'd just injured my leg, so I said to him, he said, I've got a job going, I'll pay you it. I think once he thought my leg was fucked, he's just gone quiet, right? I've had people, good people, say to me, let me go and get it. Let me go and get it. I didn't want to do that because, like I said, again, I thought he was a mate. And I said to him at the time, I said, you're meant to be a mate. I said, and you don't want to pay me? No, I do want to pay you. I should have. Totally blanked me.
Yeah.
Where do they leave you? What you meant to do? You know? And I gave him it cash. He said to buy materials 3 years ago. How many people do you know would lend you 15 grand on a say-so? Yeah? I had a nice watch. Again, I had a nice watch. I'd paid 17 to 19 grand. When I fell out with everyone, I looked at it and it was covered in diamonds and that. I went to my mate, have it. It represents something I don't like no more. Have it. And in the end, he said, look, I'll give you 5 grand for it. I said, I don't want it. He said, no, let me give you 5 grand. So he gave me 5 grand for it. But that's how much, because, like I said, once I've got the hump with something, I'll cut my nose off to spite my face. And I look at it, why is everyone so fucking hungry for possessions all the time? Yeah. And you know the same thing, you've probably been through it. I used to change cars a lot, and you'd get it for 5 minutes, and then you're driving a car and you think, it's just a car.
Yeah, mate.
Unless you're happy in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why rich people, when they have kids and they've had no purpose, they end up on drugs I think.
They go
because
don't they? Yeah.
They've had every material thing just given to them.
It don't mean anything.
And nothing, and everyone's looking for that endorphin rush. Yeah. So then the only thing that gives them that endorphin rush is drugs. Yeah. But I've found out over the last few years, if you don't stand for nothing, you don't live for nothing. And you've got to have a purpose in your life, and that means more than, like I said, my dogs. I always say to people, I love dogs, right? I've got 2 dogs, and I've always had dogs.
What are
they? Victorian Bulldogs. Okay. Yeah, Dolly and Darcy. And they're my world. I never had kids, and they're my world. And when I was in hospital and I come out of that coma, all I thought was, I've got to get home to them to lay with me and they sleep with me. Yeah. And I know I can regenerate quick. And that's what happened, literally. Yeah. I knew. The minute I felt them licking me and like I said, I always say to people, do you know the best thing I've ever bought with money? My dogs. Yeah. I've rescued one as well, and I would rescue him, like to rescue more. But because they're a life force, they're there for you all the time. Loyal. They love you. Yeah. They give you so. I mean, they break your heart when they die. But I also say to people, yeah, you might have a little while of sadness, but look at all the years they'll give you happiness. I suppose it's like when you have kids. I ain't got kids, but I say to people, you could, if you offered me 100 million for them dogs, you couldn't get them off me.
Yeah, okay.
Because they are me, they're mine. And I always believe it. And the other thing I believe in, you kick the dog, you kick the master. And with them, like I said, you couldn't offer me no amount of money. If anyone harmed my dogs, I would have no qualms on killing or dying for them, because that's how I feel about them. And I'd have to do it because I couldn't look at myself in the mirror if I didn't, you know? Because they are my babies, they're your blood. And that's how I'm with friends and family now. But that's how I've changed. As I've got older and I've seen how people behave around you, I used to be willing to take a bullet for someone because I believed it was the right thing to do. But now I realise it's not. You shouldn't think yourself so cheap, you know? Because would they take one for you? Not that I'm asking them to, and not that I'd ask anyone to risk their life or their family for me. If I do so, I'd do it on my own. And people after, they say, yeah, you should have asked me. I ain't going to ask you to this because of my personal problem.
Yeah.
You know, that's my problem. If I've got money and I want to pay you to do it and you take it as a job, that's totally different. That's work, isn't it? But when people like as a mate, like I said, Ben, I know he'd be there at a drop of an hat. Eggy, Andre, Tony, I know that but I'd never ask them to, you know? And that's the difference. A lot of people will gladly use you.
But that's what you call proper friends.
Yeah, I know.
On one hand.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like, have you seen...
Going back to that acquaintance thing.
Ooh.
People use mates too often, friends too often, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you were debt collecting, obviously we can't mention your partner's name in this.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy those 10 years working with him?
Yeah, they were good times. That was good and bad. It's what it is. When you've been a doorman, I see the door works like... You ever seen the film The Sniper? He says to his kid, because his kid's beat the shit out of someone who's picking on his son, he says there's 3 types of people. He said there's wolves that are predators, there's sheep, what are the normal people, and then there's sheepdogs to fight off the wolves. But the sheepdog's got to have wolf in him to fight. And I was more in life of a sheepdog. So I found it against my nature to intimidate people because I don't value money that much.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to intimidate people for money. The reason why I'm owed 15 grand after 3 years, because it ain't the money thing with that. It's principle because it's personal. But I also understand the other side that if you stop paying your mortgage, they take your house.
Yeah.
If you don't pay your gas bill, they take you. You've got to have money, and like I said, that person who has been ripped off.
What I find difficult here is you made a living out of debt collecting, and someone's due you 15 bags right now, and you're like, if that was for someone else, you'd probably go and get it.
Yeah.
So why don't you just go and get it?
Because money don't really mean that much to me.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to have to do for that money.
Yeah.
And he's a weak man. And it's like, you feel like, who would you rather lose? You've lost me now. I know what I'm worth for 15 grand. You know, that's what it's about. That's what I say to people now. I say you can have money or me.
Yeah.
If you choose the money, go and have the money. But one day you'll need a good friend, as everyone does.
I won't be there.
I won't be there.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you.
When you were debt collecting, did you ever come under, like, because I'd imagine you're going around there with your right-hand man and his name's massive around the UK. Was it a lot easier to pick up debts knowing you had that surname with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
Okay. Did it ever turn at all where someone's like, I ain't paying your money, mate. Do what you want.
Oh,
what are you
people
do?
try it because they know someone.
Yeah,
See,
okay.
and that's what my boss would always say. It's easier if they do know someone because that person knows the game.
Yeah.
And you can't be wrong and strong. So if he does know it, he knows what he's doing, then he'll say to him, well, you've got to pay these people. The way I look at it all, if you've knocked 10 people and you have to pay one, you've had a good run. I'd say it to them. Yeah. I'd say, look, you've knocked all these people. I'm only here to get one. This is the one you've been caught for.
So you've won 9, but you lost this one.
That's it. Pay it. Yeah. So you've not robbed them.
Yeah.
But that's another thing you find. Once money's in people's hands, they believe it's their money. And they don't want to give it up at any cost, do they? You know? And you think, wow, is that what it is? You know, money. And like I said, they'll lose friends, family. You know, people do it to their own family. They rip off family, don't they?
Why did your partnership come to an end with your debt collecting partner?
Just because of all the shit stirring and that with the people in the building company. It was like paranoia, and they think that you've run it into the ground, and because I come away, then the people left behind could feed a load of shit.
No, I'm talking about your debt collecting partner.
Yeah, he was with the company.
Oh, he was with the company as well?
Yeah,
the building company?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we've done everything together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you've been good mates for how many years?
10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still speak to him today?
Yeah. Off and on. Like I said, I wanted to see him retire, go off into the sunset, have a steady income. And again, people find that hard to believe. And again, I do understand why, because if you're spent a lifetime in jail, or a long time in jail, you think everyone's a predator because you're around predators. Yeah. So in the back of your mind, you think someone can't be this nice that they want to do it for me just because it's me. But it's like having a brother. Years ago, the reason families were so strong in London and wherever was because your brothers have all got the same blood. Yeah. So if one of you get fucked, it's like you've just got that instinct. Well, we can't. This again, that thing like I said about the door, that reflects on all of us. Yeah. Where if you're not family or that, unless you've got that real tight bond, it's easy to just go,
gap in
let him go,
let
him go up and go on. Yeah. You know, and like I said, it just becomes. There was so much paranoia and that, and I weren't in a good way because I tell you what, this woman who fucked me, when I met her, she was broke. I was doing a debt for her. She was broke, didn't have a thing. Her son was in jail, a fuck up. The husband, who had money, had robbed her. So I gave her a new start and everything. And she'd come home to my house, have dinner with me, barbecues with me. She was 62. Yeah. She was an older woman. And that's all she'd ever say to me, because I let her run everything. Yeah. So being a fool, again, about money, I used to ask her what we'd done. Okay. I didn't go and check the books, nothing. Okay. I'm not academic, you know. Yeah. I know how to put people together and do things, get contracts and whatnot, but I don't know the ins and outs. So that's why I got an accountant and her. She said she'd run her husband's business. I took her page value. And she'd come round and say, we learnt this week. Fine.
Telling you what you wanted to hear, basically.
And she'd say, you know I'd never do you wrong, Dean. Yeah. You know I'd never do you wrong, Dean. I'd never forget what you've done for me. So when it hit me, I was in shock. I was really in shock because because again, not listening to my partner, he was wiser. He said, something ain't right, Dean. Yeah. Something ain't right. The money's not working out right. It's not right. Let me put that, and I'd go, I charge you, I trust her with my life.
Yeah, okay.
I trust her with my life. But he had that instinct that I didn't have.
Yeah, okay.
So when it kicked off, and she had fucked us, he looked at me like, well, why didn't you let me do something? Did you know about it? And I think that's what done it. Yeah. I think that's what done it. It was like, why didn't you do something? Why didn't you? But I was too shell-shocked by then to, I was just like...
Can't believe it's happened.
She's done this to me.
Yeah. Well, when you in the 90s, what was it like in Basildon? How do you explain the 90s? How do you explain the noughties, 2000s, the 2010s? How did it change?
In the 90s, it was very dark. And it seemed, people, because there weren't the cameras that there are now, people would get hurt left, right and centre and maliciously hurt. And it was like, I mean, if you look, a recent poll of Essex, Basildon's got the most crime in Essex. Back when they brought out a monopoly board of Essex, Basildon was Old Kent Road.
Old Kent Road.
Yeah, it's a shithole. Yeah. And I remember speaking to an ex-army bloke who ran a security in Basildon Town Centre and that. He said, for some reason, he said, Dean, everyone's so aggressive in Basildon. And most of it's probably because it was an influx from the East End. Yeah. Where I grew up, all the people there was a slum clearance from the East End. So everyone that come down there, they were rough and ready people. Yeah. And if you had a score to settle, it was done and dusted. Like I said, one of my best pals I grew up with at the time, when I was kids, we would have fights non-stop. And then an hour later, he was mates again. Yeah. I can remember his mum saying when we was arguing, oh, for fuck's sakes, just have a fight. And we'd come on his lawn. Yeah, and I remember we had a fight, and he got frustrated and started crying. He was a boxer. So he went upstairs, got his boxing gloves, and then I chinned him over his neighbour's fence, and that was it, done and dusted. They weren't there stamping on people's heads and that. We were kids. But the mum was like, right, that's it, done. Yeah. You'd be fucking playing out together later.
Have you seen it turn more violent over the last 20 years as well?
Well, now I think it's because people have got so, and they've got soft, especially boys, Everyone keeps their kids in there. They've got the illusion, because of social media, that the streets are so dangerous. Statistically, you're less likely to be kidnapped and taken away now than you was years ago, because the grooming's all done online.
Yeah.
So the actual thing they're putting them into, when they sit there for hours, that's why you've got obesity now. Kids don't play out no more. You don't see them. We was out the street.
But what did you think, though, of the knife crime just coming? Have you seen the knife crime rise ridiculous over the last 10 years?
It's done out of fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fear.
Like people carrying these zombies around with them and stuff.
Fear, and getting a media reputation online. Like, I'm pals with a fella, Steve, who runs the market store. He's run it for 40 years, and he coaches the boxing. So I do, when I'm out, pads and that with him. There was a fight a little while ago, broad daylight, a group of kids on one, and then at the end of it, one of them pulled out a big knife and stabbed him. He was already kicked the shit out of, but one of them had to pull out a big knife because he's got to be the one to trump all the rest of them. Yeah. And this, I mean, did you see that thing in Southend last year or that?
Yeah, when all zombies running around.
Yeah,
knife.
and look what's happening in London at the moment. When the other week, what they call it, rushing or something, all the TikTokers were meeting. There's no policing. Yeah. You know, park and double yellow, they nick you. Yeah. Real policing ain't investigated. It's like, do you know what? I say this a lot of the time, right? I feel like a dinosaur now. Yeah. I feel like I don't belong in this world. And it started happening on the doors. When new people, a new area manager, took over on the doors when I was there the last few years, he said, we want the doorman to look like Towie, right? We want to get rid of the old steroid tattoo, bald-headed. Well, that's all well and good, but trouble ain't changed. Violence is still violence. You can get people in that look like Towie, but at the end of the day, a doorman ain't just doing his job when he's breaking up fights. He's a deterrent. And he's got to look a deterrent. Yeah. Like, you don't have a Rottweiler looks like a Rottweiler, not only because he can do the job of a Rottweiler, he's a deterrent. Most people won't go near the Rottweiler. But that's how it was becoming. Use verbal jiu-jitsu, they call it, all this bullshit. And that's what's happened on the streets and that. There's no discipline, there's no nothing. You say to a parent, your kid's done something, they'll turn on you. Yeah. My kid ain't done fuck all, fuck off. Yeah. When I was a kid, if anyone said anything, you got clumped first and asked questions later. Yeah. You know, that's how it was. I mean...
Do you ever get the fear, not fear is the wrong word, do you ever get the sort of the feeling like you got a massive reputation, very well respected for that certain age group?
I hope.
Like, do you think, no, but I think, but no, like you see some kids coming on out 17, 18, like, they haven't got a clue. Like a 49, 50-year-old man, what he's done, what his history is, They could just come in and just, bam.
I take everyone serious. Everyone serious. And this is what I say. I don't argue in cars. I say to people all the time, people think I'm going to be, I've never had a road rage thing. Yeah. Someone cuts me up, I know someone else is going to cut me up down the road. Unless they're serious and want to come out the car and fuck me up, if I'm wrong, I'll put my hand up and say sorry. I'll put my hazards on, say thank you. My mum, she's, like I said, she's old. She drove me a little while ago, and it was funny. She went to me, she's got dementia, she went, you're quite a knight of the road, really, aren't you? I said, what? She said, you let everyone out, you're polite. I said, why wouldn't I be? Yeah. I said, I'm driving. I said, it ain't going to make no odds to me if I let him out and that. No, people get pissed off and say, I'll let him out, and he didn't say thank you and that. Most people ain't going to say thank you.
You're very humble.
Well, I hope so, thank you.
You're very humble.
And there's another saying.
And kind, and also like, a friend of mine, Marcus Redwoods, he's very humble.
Yeah,
and
nice
kind,
fella, isn't he?
Lovely fella.
Yeah.
One of the nicest in the world. Without a shadow of a doubt, he'd do anything for anyone. Yeah. If he's got your back, he's got your back.
That's it.
He's been brought up with respect. Old school.
Yeah.
And that's why I do these, Dean. Yeah. Like nostalgia, to get these stories across, you know.
Because it's a dying world, isn't it?
It's a dying world. All of a sudden, a load of them all be dead in 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, and they're all forgotten.
I know.
But actually,
I know.
The old school's important.
Yeah, it is. But you look back, and like I said, I don't know whether you can change it now. But I think they should have had boxing in schools. I think they should have. Because if you teach people how to, I'm into self-protection now, when I trained with, have you ever had Lee Morrison on?
No. Good.
He does urban combat house, right? He was the inventor of it.
Is he trained with Jeff Thompson?
He knows Jeff Thompson well.
Right? Who's the creme? He's the top.
He started. Well, he's took it on now to the next level. He trains Navy SEALs, everyone. Okay. And if you go on YouTube, he's brilliant at what he does, right? Lee Morrison. And I went down and trained with him because I'm starting self-protection. Yeah. That's what I'm getting into, because I understand. It's like I said, when you're going along in life, right, you put a seatbelt on. You don't notice your seatbelt until you have a crash and it saves you.
Thank God for that. Yeah.
People don't do that with learning how to protect themselves and their family, but it's just, it's the most important thing to you. And for an hour or 2 hours a week of training,
to learn that,
just to get yourself in a position where it might give you that little bit. And it don't mean smashing people up. It means avoiding it for a start, using your voice for a start, especially with women. Have you noticed when you see a lot of YouTube videos where men go up to women who don't talk English, and the woman normally goes quiet and compliant and walks off.
And they can do a hand signal behind their back. Yeah.
But not just that, if they turned around most times and just went, fuck off, mate, just fuck off, and everyone took notice, most time they'd disappear. But instead they go into this, whether it's an English thing, they go, and now you're compliant to them, they're going to herd you off like they do a lion in a thing to where you want. And this is what I say to people, use yourself, attract attention, don't worry about being embarrassed. But unless you practice it, most people go into shock.
Yeah, they said, I saw the other day that the average bloke thinks he
can have a fight.
And that
the average
never ever had a fight. Maybe had one fight.
No.
Never trained to fight.
No.
On the average, they said it was. I think he said the average bloke thinks he's 400% harder than he actually is.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great stat.
Yeah, and there's another one on there on YouTube I watched the other day. He studied over 500 fights and give you the statistics of people that train jiu-jitsu, how many times they lose. Because street fighting and sport are two different things. You're not taught to gouge someone's eyes out or bite off their nose. Whatever you got to do to win, it's got to be vicious.
I tell you what, I had a friend of mine in their podcast yesterday. He's a top down of jiu-jitsu. You do not want to get on the floor. It don't matter how big you are.
He's the 1%. That's what I'm saying.
He's the 0.1%. And I said to him,
he said tie you in knots.
And he's humble and beautiful. But mate, hard as nails, cauliflower.
Yeah.
He said, mate, I don't fear anyone.
No.
Don't know I'm coming near me.
No.
I've got my own space.
Yeah.
But if I get you on the floor, I
That's
don't care
right.
if you're 28 stone.
No, it's tie you up.
I tell you,
I'll put you
out.
I'll
put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Give me 3 seconds, you'll be in sleep.
Yeah. But the one trouble with that, and again, this is studied, in that study, 80% of people who take it to the floor lose. Because they don't account for other people stamping on your head.
Other people coming in.
And this is what I used to say on the door, right? There's a lot of them used to train jiu-jitsu because you're restraining.
Yeah.
But that's all well and good. I'll give you an example of that. Now I remember. There was one of the pubs we was doing, and it had a 3 or 4 foot wall round. We only had about 4 doormen, and about 15 people come down from London. They didn't know Envy had shut.
Yeah.
So they want to come in this one. Man just said, don't want him in. So we said, you can't come in. But now there's this smoking area with a wall. So now a couple of them, they've been getting more and more aggressive, and they're all blokes. So now they've jumped over, and a couple of my pals done jiu-jitsu, choked them up, but they're on the floor now with one person. I'm left standing there with a load of them about to come over. So at the time, I had a torch as a self-defence. So you're not meant to carry it, but
self-defence.
It's spiked on the end and it extends as a baton, right? So now I've gone in, fuck off, come over here, I'll fucking do, blah, blah, blah. None of them come over by luck, and then the old bill turned up. But that's what I said to them. I said, when you take someone on the floor, especially at doorwork, now you've just got one person, there's another 10 there.
An opportunity to get while you're on the floor.
And that's why you've got to bang them out.
Yeah.
And it's the same with a street fight. The last place, even Jeff Thompson said it, last place you want to end up is on that floor. Because it ain't even got to be someone with him. So if you're on top winning, someone will walk over and kick you in the face just for the sake of it. But when I say to people about martial arts and that, I say, of course they work for the supreme ones who have been doing it their whole life, and like Jeff and that. But again, Jeff, if you watch it, he says, until he mixed it with boxing, with this, with that, and he said, with one sentence I'll give you to practice self-protection, learn how to bang and learn how to bang hard and go first. You got to go first. And again, this is what's hard for a normal person to do when they're not used to doing it, because it goes everything you're taught against as a kid. Don't hit him till he hits you first. Don't hit him till he hits you first. Well, by the time you're hit, you could either be unconscious, dead, or you're already on your back foot and you're going. And it takes practice to do it on a trigger. I'm in a fight anyway. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, let's attack. And that's why if you watch Lee Morrison, he's brilliant. Like I said, I went to train with him, and he's still in contact with me. And that's what I'm going to... Because like I said, now I'm in a different perspective of life. I want to help people. It has got dangerous out there, let's be honest, especially for women.
Yeah.
Women and that, you know. My niece, she's just 19, on a train with her mate. Geezer grabbing her arse.
Yeah.
And she's froze.
Yeah.
She's froze. No, and you think, and you can't rely on other people to help you, you know?
What were the roughest boozers and clubs you'd ever done?
Probably Envy and the Tangate. I've done the Ministry a few times. That was quite a fun experience. It was on the night of Notting Hill Carnival, right? It was the only after party for Notting Hill Carnival. Everywhere else shut, sensibly. But the Ministry's open. And when I was up there before, they used to put one person at each end of the street. So you'd have the entry there, and you're standing up. I said, fucking hell, he's all right up there, isn't he? Where do you think they stuck me? Because, again, with door work, it's the only thing, if you're good at it, you get the shittiest places instead of the better. So I'm there, I'm 5'7.5", no one can see me. And every game that gets turned away, they got to come past me. So I've got my hands in my pockets with stuff on me. And everyone is coming past, right? And you get the odd comment and that, but you're thinking, this is going to go in a minute. And I can't, so I've got a radio, but you can't have a radio. And yeah, you're fucked, yeah. I thought, wow, this is a good night up here. But yeah, it went all right. But yeah, but Tangate and the Envy, which was all gangs from London, all coming down, they shut it at Romford because it was too much aggro. And it was literally just every night. I mean, I used to do the door 4 or 5 nights a week.
For how many years? The total 15?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's full time for me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was just chaos because you knew a lot of them had just come out of jail.
Yeah.
We didn't have no... We done a bit of wanding, but there was no like like metal detector wanding.
Yeah.
ID was all you had to show. It was like easy to get in with us. It weren't until we started getting the things that register you on it, you know, the computers. But they wanted to keep them away because you knew you wouldn't get the clientele in to spend the money that one place. Because it's champagne.
How is your mind, Dean, when you're going to work? Are you going there going, I've got to be prepared for a tear up tonight? Or you've got to be on wits ends about it. But are you like some nights, because some nights, even the quieter nights, when it's just quiet, nothing's happening, something can just pop off just like that. And you're like, where's that come from?
Oh, I always count on adrenaline for me. Adrenaline shoots in. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've been hyper alert. Although I can see, I used to say to people, they'd say to me, one time, someone said funny, they said, Dean's a sort of doorman, he's like a smash the glass when needed person. Like, if it's kicking off bad. But most of the time, I'm chilled, easy going and whatnot. But when the adrenaline kicks in, you come alive. And like I say, you just got to be... You know, the later the night, you're more tired you get in, but you know that's the time normally when things start getting bad, isn't it?
Have you been around anyone who's been tortured?
Let me think. I don't know if it's torture. A pal of mine, when I was growing up, he died at 40. So, what was it, 12 years ago, but I was friends with his family.
Yeah.
And his brother, this was a few years ago, he sold a car or something to someone, but someone didn't do it right. And some traveller boys befriended him, took him in a car, and they filmed this and put it on YouTube. And he ain't a fighter whatsoever. He's not a fighter. He's a nice fellow, he trains, dealt a bit of gear, but he was never violent. They've took him, smashed the fuck out of him in the car, on camera, holding a screwdriver saying we're going to kill you and all this, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. His fucking faces out there, just kept whacking them as they're driving, filming it like, think you're a tough man, think you're a he-man, we want 10 grand off you and all this. Took him to a field, tied up, middle of nowhere, said, now we're going to cut your throat and leave you here, right? Which is torture, isn't it? Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
So, they said, if we don't get the 10 grand, we're going to... Anyway, they disappeared. Somehow he managed to get out, got to the side of the road, got a lift home. His eye was fucked. He's fractured and all that. The travellers who'd done it, his dad was good friends with another traveller who was well known. He phoned them up because his sister had met him and given him the 10 grand. That's why they let him go. Said, you're a fucking disgrace to us, what you've done to him. He's done nothing wrong, blah, blah. Give him the fucking money back. They dropped it off within a fucking hour, dropped the money off. But he was fucked mentally after that. Yeah. His eyesight was fucked for ages. And they put it out over Facebook, YouTube and all that.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. But I talked to his dad because his dad wanted something off me to do something. And his dad's got to be in his 70s. And I said, it's not your place.
Yeah.
I said, your son's got the money. If he wants to do something, pay someone to do it. His dad was like a game fucker when he was younger. I said, you ain't doing this. I said, it's not your position. I said, your son's a grown man at the end of the day. He's capable. I can sort things out for you if that's what you want. I said, but you're not doing it yourself. I said, you shouldn't have to. He shouldn't even let you. And he didn't. He didn't. But his dad thought it was his place.
Well done for giving him that.
Yeah, I couldn't let him do that. I'd known him
as a
since I was
dad,
a little
right?
boy.
As a dad,
Of course.
you don't know what's going through your head. If you find
well, I know what to go through fucking mine.
Yeah, same. But do you know what I mean? Like,
no one has stopped me for it. But it was his age and that. If he'd have been in his 50s or whatever, maybe. But he was in his 70s.
yeah, okay.
And at the end of the day, your son was up to illegal activities as well, although it shouldn't have been done to him. So he's got to know he's in that game.
Okay,
yeah.
That's a tough lesson, though, isn't it?
Fucking was. Because he ain't got a bad bone in him.
No.
And he's a nice fella. And even like a year later that, it changed him.
What's the one where someone got tortured and they jumped out the window, broke their leg?
Oh,
and they
yeah, Jason Bella.
Yeah.
He's passed away now, I believe.
Has he?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened there?
Basically, drug debt. It was in Pitsea. That was around the time of the Essex boys when they got shot and that. Basically, it's all on public record. A geezer called Reggie Nunn, I think it was. He's either running drugs from or doing something. I don't know whether money went missing, gear went missing, but they had him in a flat, which I think was Vella's flat, that they didn't know was being watched by police and filmed at the time from a flat across. And have you seen the film Love, Honour and Obey?
Yeah.
You know, that's where they got that from, when they fell him SD, made him eat dog food, stuck a broom handle up his arse. Yeah, that's where that come from. And then he heard them say in the background, let's take him and finish him tomorrow. So with that, he ran and dived out the second floor window, hits the ground, broke his leg and that, but managed to run off to a neighbour. They all run out and scarpered, and I think he got about 18 years for that.
Oh, God.
That was the end of him, yeah.
Oh, God.
Mm.
Were you ever around the football? Ever around West Ham?
No, I've never been into football. I know a lot of people from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Carlton.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got people, like I said, who are around, but no, I've never been into football. You're West Ham, aren't you?
Yeah, mate.
Obviously.
What?
Yeah. No, I've never been into football.
Yeah.
No.
How would you explain your world today, Dean?
Pretty calm. I'm pretty calm. I'm easy going.
You are easy going, yeah.
Yeah, I'm easy going, like I said.
But don't get on the wrong side.
No, listen, I'll give you ample opportunity. You could call me every name on the sun, wouldn't particularly bother me. Until you want to touch me or my family, then it's a different game, you know? But on the door, you get called every name under the sun every fucking day, you know? Spat at, spat in your face, everything. But what hurts me, if a friend does something to you, if a stranger has you over, you expect a stranger to. If it's someone close to you, that hurts. And I think inside, I'm a very loyal person. If I say I'm with you, if you phone me at 3 a.m,
you're there.
No questions. Yeah. Where I've changed now, I would ask questions. don't mean I wouldn't go with you, but I'd want to know you're in the right first and foremost, you know. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty chilled out. I want to, like I said, I'm going to start doing documentaries with Ben. I still got all my old pals. We still go out for meals and door team.
Ben's
and
done
that.
Brilliantly with Inquirer.
Hasn't he?
Yeah, I love his. I love that sort of style. It's basically a no-face podcast,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it? Where he's talking about faces from around that.
Well, at some point,
underworld.
he's going to do his own story, because I said, go on something. Or I said, because he said to me, set up your own doing this.
Yeah.
And again, I said, I don't know whether I to do this. And I said, I'd interview Ben, though. I said, because your story, he's got a good story.
Is he?
He's a face, he's a proper face, yeah. And
he's from Stoke, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's
So
been a little fella.
as you sit today, Dean? Are you happy?
I'm happy to know it's been a long time. I ain't got the pressures I got used to have.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I ain't got the pressures. I'm not. I don't run around singing and dancing, but I like to have a laugh. The main thing in life is to have a laugh, because like I said, you ain't here long. And as long as my mum and dad are still alive, I'm happy, because every day is a blessing now with them. 2 brothers, me dogs, me friends, me family. I'll be honest, I probably would still do anything for anyone, because I can't help myself, especially if it's a matter of principle, and I can't help myself. I'll put principle over money every day of the week, like I said. And normally I end up doing it for nothing as well.
Now?
Even now. You're never going to change you, and you shouldn't have to change you. You just got to, as you get older, like you've probably been turned over, you've probably had everyone. And like I said, you start thinking, and I do say it, I say to people now, if you can count on yourself, because trust is an hard thing. It is an hard thing, but you have to trust or you can't live, can you? Yeah. You know, what are you going to do? Be solitary all your life? You got to risk getting hurt, haven't you? It's the same thing as having a dog. At the end of the day, you know the dog's going to pass away at some time, but every day you got with it, enjoy it,
mate.
You know.
Dean, I've loved this.
Yeah, is it all right? Yeah, I hope so.
Mate, really good. Liked it. Mate, really good.
Yeah.
You're a proper nice human being.
I'll try to be.
And humble.
I'll try to be.
And kind. All these wonderful gifts. Fair play to you, mate.
No, like I said, it's nice to be nice, isn't it?
Of course.
You know, and good manners cost nothing. That's how I was brought up, you know.
But we've been brought up with good manners and morals and respect.
And when you're around good people, you want to be, like I said, and like what I said before, you got to come together. You can't keep having this mentality of me. Yeah. Because what's good, I know a lot of people have got a lot of money, they're not happy because they're on their own.
That's right.
You know, at the end of their life, I said it always reflects on you. At the end of your life, if you've been an abusive pig, your kids won't want to know you, you're single, your wives have left you, and they sit there miserable as fuck. Yeah. Isn't it?
Absolutely. Dean, loved it, mate.
Cheers.
It's proper an eventful life you've lived, mate.
Cheers.
And I wish you all the best in the
Thank
future.
You. Cheers, Dodge.
Gentlemen.
Thank you, mate.
Good
Cheers.
man. Good man. Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like to see someone on the show, leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, do us a favour, show us a bit of love, press the subscribe button, and that allows us to grow the show even bigger and bigger each week. Nice one.